What is going on, y'all? I hope y'all are having a good day, evening, night, whatever, whenever you may be watching this video. So today we're going to be uninstalling wrist pins on the pistons of this LS motor. As you can see, I've already set up something I've already tried drilling a hole with this block, and I just kind of crushed it. So use the smallest rounded edge for this block that came with the press, and I set this block on the front side of this piston just like that, and then I got this socket here. Well, where did I put it? I set it somewhere. Shit. I think this one was it. But I set that socket in there. Just this is a half, or you can go slightly bigger if you'd like. But anyways, and I heated up the arm with the torch, and it slowly started to press out. I felt like it was gonna bust on me because I didn't know how well it was moving. But anyways, I will show y'all what I am doing right quick. And I don't advise you to do this if you plan on reusing this pistons. I mean, I'm not. I'm using flat tops that I ordered, so So, like I said earlier, I told you not to do this if you plan on reusing your pistons, and I'll show you why. It peeled off just a little bit of metal right there, and I don't know if that's a big deal right there, because that's really not a fatal spot. But I mean, anytime you lose metal, you're gonna lose durability. But other than that, the pin, it come out just fine. Didn't mess the pin up, so if you need to reuse the pin, I'm sure you can. But when I ordered my flat tops, it came with pins. Ordered some Sealed Power flat tops for a 4.8. Real nice and clean. But anyways, I'll show y'all how to put these on in just a second. So, if you forgot which way the rod on this Gen 3 is supposed to be facing, you have this here flat side, and then you have this rounded edge here. You got the round side and the flat right here. It looks just like that. All the rods are going to face the same way on this Gen 3 LS, stock rods anyways. So that means the flat side will face the front of the motor for every single one of them. Same for the piston. That means the dot will also face the front of the motor. So whenever you go to put these back together, make sure that the dot is also facing to the front. That's a real big key there when putting these back together. Also, before I even try to install these new wrist pins, because I do not want to mess anything up at all, I'm going to set all these in a bag and put them in a freezer and freeze them for a little bit to kind of shrink them just a hair. It'll help put them in. And then I'll heat this rod up when installing these pins, because that'll help even more. So anyways, let me stick these in the freezer and let them sit for a little bit, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got one wrist pin out of the freezer here, nice and cold, left it in there overnight. I'm going to try one without freezing it and see which one goes in better, because I've heard different things. But first, we got to heat the end of this rod up. And just like that, you have installed your new wrist pin and rod. And make sure whenever you put these in that it's centered. Mine turned out pretty center, so we're good to go. Went in fairly easy. I don't know. I'm gonna try to put one in without freezing it and see which one does better, but honestly, matter of opinion, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, and again, make sure your flat side is the same with the front side of this piston here. Make sure everything's good. All right, guys, so I put one in without freezing the pin. I left it out from yesterday. They both went in fairly easy. It didn't really matter, honestly. They both slid in like a glove. This was actually easier than I thought it would be, honestly. This is the first set of wrist pins I've ever put in, so turned out fairly simple. Anybody can do this. So the piston rings are pretty straightforward. You got top groove, which is ring number 1, second groove, which is ring number 2, and your oil grooves, which is number 3. On here, I got a hyper eutectic piston. I want street and strip application. For the top ring, you would multiply your bore, which is, for me, is 3.78 times 0.0065. And I come up with 0.02457, but I'm gonna keep it at 0.024. I'm not gonna round it up. So do this. About halfway down in there. I don't want it all the way to the top. What you think?
Right there, big 5.
Sure. It ain't even got a groove in it at all.
That's where you need to file it.
Yeah, so we got to pull that back out. Alright guys, so whenever I stuck the ring in here, it had no gap. I squared it off with this piston and pushed it. You want it at least almost halfway down in your bore. You don't want to file it up here. It's more accurate to get a file about halfway, to get your reading about halfway down the bore. So I'm going to use a handheld file to file my rings, because I do not have the fancy grinding wheel. So what I did was I put a rag in here because I didn't want to mess this up. And I'm going to clamp it down nice and tight, not too tight. And then we're going to file just a little bit at a time. Alright, so after taking a year to file it with a hand file, I finally come up with a better idea. I've used a grinder to file it down. I've already done the top ring, which is number 1. I'm fixing to go over here and show y'all number 2. But anyways, the second ring, it is going to be, you got to multiply the bore times 5 thousandths, so 3.78 times 5 thousandths, and you should come out right around 18 thousandths. It was like 0.0189, so we're just gonna round it up to 19 thousandths of an inch. It should be your end gap for your rings. So fixing to go over here and do that right now. And I'm gonna want the gaps to be like 180, right, with each other. So the oil groove rings are going to be 15 thousandths on end gap. And So we had to put the middle ring in first and then put the oil rings in after that. And then make sure they're 180 for this bottom one and 180 for the 1 and 2 compression ring. Make sure they're opposite. Now we're gonna oil it up and we're gonna install. Yeah, notch goes to the front.
Why is it upside down
It's not. Flat side and notch side goes to the front. Well, I mean, if you want to put it over here, but that's number 2. Numbers don't matter if it's upside down, but that's number 2. I pulled that one out of number 2. But it ain't gonna matter, is it?
Yeah. It needs to go where it's going.
Well, then that's number 2.
Go right here.
No, that's number 1.
Oh, that's right. Oh, hell, what you telling me over there for?
Because you was complaining about the numbers being upside down.
We was cutting this for this hole.
Make sure that. Okay, you should be alright to go down. Flat side to the front. Oh yeah, we gotta get that. Flat side to the front. Turn it. There you go. See, flat. It's gotta be at 40 foot-pounds, I think. What it said. Yeah, 40.
Waking up anew, wasting time is all I do. But now when I'm with you, so much time, nothing to do. I'm dropping you texts now. You said you want me when it's that. Being with you just feels right. You said we could meet it when it's that.
For y'all that don't know or have never used a file gap tool, it is straightforward. Literally all of these have like a number on them, say it's 0.035 or whatever. So I'm going to 24 thou. So we find 24. Here it is. Put it and you check the gap until you get there. Obviously it did not go in, so I just need to keep on grinding. Key, just grind on one side of the ring. That way you know if the end gap is straight. Because if you grind both of them and you push them together, you can't tell if you have a straight cut or a straight edge on your ring here. So just keep that in mind. Thought I'd throw that out there. But gotta keep on grinding.
So what you doing tonight? It's everything I can't think of. Waking up anew.
And we're perfect.
Wasting time is all I do. But now when I'm with you, so much time to think.
Remember where that ring is at. The gap for that one's right here, right there. So you want the other one to kind of be staggered off to the other side. Just as long as they're not completely lined up, you should be all right.
I'm dropping you texts now. You said you want me when it starts. Being with you just feels right. You said we could meet it when it starts. Yeah, I'm really being honest. I want this to last. Said you want it honest. I'm giving you my hand.
After you get them in there, make sure these are opposite. These compression rings up here at the top. You're gonna get your tool.
I'm dropping you texts now. You said you want me when it starts. Being with you just feels right. You said we could meet it when it starts. Yeah, slow more time. Sun is about to go down. So what you doing tonight? It's everything I can't think of.
Isolated eyes, a messy mind. Think I need to help you. I'm gonna try. Cute as hell, baby. Hotter than flames.
Well, we finally got our flat tops in, except for one of them, man. All right, so I was working on the very last piston, and on the second ring, I forgot. I don't know why. Shoot me in the...
It is what it is. It is what it is.
that I had already gapped that ring. So instead of checking it, I went ahead and started filing on it again, and I gapped it way too far, so I gotta wait for another one to come in the mail. No biggie. That's just a reminder for you guys. Please, please, please make sure that you gap your rings properly. Take your time. Don't rush them. But anyways, it was a fairly easy job. It turned out really great. I don't even know what that is. But anyways, turned out really great. I hope y'all enjoy the video. For the millionth time, let me know what y'all think. And if you enjoy the video, hit that like and subscribe button for me. We're fixing to get ready to put the heads on and the intake and everything like that. So hit that subscribe button, stay tuned with me, and keep updated with the build. Anyways, I'm fixing to head over to the house, wash up for the night. I'm calling it a night. Y'all have a good one.